Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be part 3 of our modded Darkest Dungeon adventure. I'm Poisonducky, and I think we should get right back into the action. Let's see here. We have... I remember... Oh, God. Nick, you need stress healing. We have plenty of money, so... Does Nick have anything? Nick... Oh, he can't pray. Is it because of his class? I bet it is. You know, Nick, you're a masochist. Let's see what else. Mallory. Mallory needs some help. Mallory should go gambling? No. Mallory is a person of devout faith and requires meditation because she actually can't pray actually, so she's not so much of devout faith. But, you know. Yeah. Tranquility at last. Let's go look at these new heroes. We have the Seraph, Rift Watcher, Man-at-Arms, and Wraith. Already have a Wraith, already have a Librarian. Do not have a Rift Watcher, or Man-at-Arms, or Seraph. And... I think I'll take the Seraph for now? No, let's wait on it. Let's wait on more flexible picks for us. In terms of the blacksmith, I believe we have the materials to upgrade it so that we can actually upgrade.
In the end, every plan relies upon a strong arm and tempered steel.
So, for those who don't know, every class has their weapons and armor, and how progression of the stats of a character goes is when they have a base damage of 5 to 11 for the Dragon Slayer, for instance, and if you upgrade it, it goes to 6 to 13. Now, how does that go into their abilities? Let's say... What's an ability? So look at this ability here, Lightning Spear. It has an accuracy base of 90, which is nothing special, but the damage modifier is minus 30%. If you look at right under the accuracy base. So the minus 30% actually means it's 5 to 11 damage. So you roll between 5 to 11, and then you minus 30% from that, and that's the damage of that ability. So when you upgrade its weapon to 6 to 13, it'll roll between 6 to 13 and then minus 30% to that damage roll. And then there's, of course, attacks like Swift Strike, in which it's when there is no modifier like plus 15, it just means it's 100% of the damage, and it'll actually just do 5 to 11. But with that aside, we also have armor, which is it's only two things for armor, which is dodge base and HP base. So for those of you who don't know how accuracy works in this game, is you have accuracy of base 90. So that means you have a 90 out of 100% chance to hit. 100%, it's like a bar graph. But if you have a dodge of 10, you subtract the accuracy of the attacking ability. So that says 90. Let's say if someone tries to attack Mr. Lawless here, it'll actually become 80, and they'll only have an 80% chance to hit the target. Fairly simple. All the math in this game is pretty easy to learn once you have the hang of it. Okay, we can upgrade our weapons and armor. I'm going to definitely get some of these. Ooh, that's the wrong building, but I'm going to look at these abilities that the Wraith has. It is a modded class, so I'm a little unfamiliar. Reap, plus 25% damage if target below 66%, plus 25% versus bleeding, and plus 45 versus marked. Wow. This one marks it, so that synergizes. This ability here will mark the target and debuff it so that the enemy has a higher % chance to get critted on. So that's that synergizes with that. And then here are the stun abilities that we're so familiar with the Wraith. The stun the backline ability, the stun the frontline ability, and the stun the midline ability. Another thing I should explain is how resistances work in terms of like status effects. So you see here, this ability has a 100% base stun chance. It's like, wow, that if you off the first, like when you first look at it, it's like, that's amazing. That means he never doesn't stun people. And then you look at the character's stun resist. This character has a 40% stun resist. Actually minus 10% because of a certain quirk, which is kind of annoying. So if I hit you with an ability that has a 100% base chance of stunning you, and you have 40% resistance, that becomes a 60% chance. You just subtract the numbers, not very hard. So every time, if I would hit Mr. Celopetes with a stun attack that's 100%, it will be 60% chance. Same with this pull ability, for instance. This ability also has a pull, and pull 2 means it, whatever target it hits, it pulls them 2 towards the front. And then there's also a different resistance for that called move resist. How much chance resisting a moving ability. And there's bleed, blight, disease, death blow, as we covered before. And then here's the trap disarm. Guillotine. He has an execute ability? That is fantastic. And plus 66 bleed against stunned and marked. And hits the midline as well? Wow. You know what? I think I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for this ability, the midline chain ability, and the backline chain ability. So that our abilities... This is going to be ability number 1, just the normal damage dealing ability that has extra damage against bleeding and marked. Every class has their main damage dealer. This is the Wraiths. I'm going to go for this ability here, so it can stun a position 3 or 4 character and pull them forward so we can hit them. This ability we've been using before, it stuns a front line, but actually I found that we don't really need that very often, so I'm not going to pick it as I proceed to click on it. Chain Gang, I really like this ability. It stuns position 2 and 3, so it stuns 2 people. You get 2 for the price of 1. It's still only 1 ability, so that seems to be a must pick for this character. And I'm going to go for Guillotine, an execute kind of ability that does a lot more damage. It always crits if the target is below 25% health, which is very nice and will give us stress healing actually. So I'm going to keep that. That's going to be our ability outfit for him. And I need to upgrade his weapons. So it's going to change from 5 to 10 to 6 to 12. And his armor, he has 32 hit points now. Spending a lot of money on him now, but at least we have a accurate, high damaging character. And if you were confused in the last video on why I switched, like in the middle of the last fight, I switched from, if you remember correctly, I had Barbaric Yop and I switched to Breakthrough. So the Hellion is a frontline specialist, kind of not very tanky, but a lot of special frontline damage dealer. And when she's not in the front line, she's not very fantastic. Like this one can only be used in this ability can only be used in position 1 and 2. This ability can only be used in position 1, and this is like just for a utility ability. And so is Barbaric Yop, and all these another only position 1. So she's a very specialized for position 1, and that's very bad if you're not put in position 1. So there's this ability called Breakthrough where it pushes her. If you see right under melee, it says forward 1. When you use ability, she moves forward 1. Quite simple. It is not very high damage, minus 50% damage, but it is spread among 3 opponents. So if you total that together, that's 150% damage against the whole entire party in whole. So it's an efficient ability, but maybe not effective at if you want to burst down a target. And also debuffs her with minus 10% damage and minus 1 speed, which is not fantastic. But I think I'm going to be using the Hellion in our next run. The Hellion's fantastic mainly because, well, this is just her normal damage ability, hits position 1 and 2, use in position 1 and 2. But the Iron Swan is like the bread and butter, because everyone knows the backline's dangerous. So this ability can only be used in position 1, but it can hit position 4, which is quite rare for a frontliner. And that's what makes the Hellion so special. And I almost always keep this ability on. Keep this to get back out of, when you're put out of position. And this is just a utility ability. It cures, blights, and bleeds. And you heal for 1 HP, which is not fantastic. And the buff is quite fantastic, though, with plus 20% damage and plus 5 accuracy for the next 3 rounds, I believe. I could use Barbaric Yop here, which stuns 2 people in front of her. But I think the Wraith has that covered in terms of stunning power. So let's do that. I am going to go for the Antiquarian, I believe, for the next run. I'm going to get Healing Vapors. Nervous Stab. Flash Powder. And Protect Me. So the abilities I'm going to be using with the Antiquarian are these. This is just your standard attack ability. What's great about the Antiquarian, though, is that you can hit positions 1, 2, and 3, and you can use it from any position. So no matter what position, Antiquarian will deal damage. Same with this ability. But this ability doesn't deal damage. This is the utility damage from the other episode. It bypasses stealth and it de-stealths, along with debuffing the enemy in which it hits with a 110 base accuracy, and it just debuffs them with minus 11 accuracy. So if we put in that calculations, like this becomes 90, this was 90, it would become 79. And plus, with the dodge of most of your characters, it's quite hard to hit somebody. This is I'm going to pick up because I'm picking up this ability because it's a heal. It only heals for 1 to 2, but that's just enough to sometimes get someone out of death's door, and it buffs bleed and blight resistance, so it's nice. In terms of the last ability is Protect Me. Quite a useful ability. What happens is when you choose when an ability it does not have an enemy marker, so it's only 4 white dots or yellow dots. You can choose one of your teammates and they will guard, force guard by ally. And pretty much just means if they attack this Antiquarian for the next few turns, they'll instead attack that teammate. So you can funnel your damage onto one character. Not only that, though, it buffs that one character that you choose to funnel the damage to with dodge and protection. Quite a powerful ability. That's why it's only limited 3 uses per battle. And protection's really nice. If you don't know protection is just if you get hit, if you have, let's say, 20% protection, you just get hit for 10 damage, you'd minus 20% damage from that attack. So it just becomes 8 damage. Very simple. Alright, so I have my frontline Mondrian with the Hellion. Got my stunner with Wraith. What else can I do? No, I think I'm going to go for the Houndmaster again. Houndmaster's a great backline. This is just the normal attack. Pretty basic. It can attack any position, which is nice. Lower damage, but, well, in general, the Houndmaster has lower damage as a base. But it has a little bit of bleed and has increased damage versus Beast and marked targets, which is nice. I'm going to be using the Cry Havoc, which is just a stress heal, make everyone not go crazy. Another guard ability, you know, with the Antiquarian in the mix, this may be too much. Having 2 guard abilities is a little repetitive. And of course, a self-heal ability. I'll keep the guard ability just in case this particular character needs to dart because he's in a backline as well. And I'm going to upgrade his abilities. A stress heal, a guard, a heal, and just normal damage. Let's see our positional lineup. We're going to put him here. Oops. Where did our Houndmaster go? Alright. This is a pretty balanced team. We've got high damage, high burst damage for the back line. Can get back into position 1 if needed. Very high crowd control. High stunning power. High support with stress heals. And can support himself with his own heals. And if someone gets in a problem, a jiffy, we can guard him. And it has mid damage. And this has a lot of utility with small heals, a little bit of debuffing power and utility for deep bypassing stealth, and a little bit of damage along with the guard ability. In general, how they balance the characters is that Antiquarian is going to be weaker compared to any other character in this game in terms of combat, except maybe the Librarian, because the Antiquarian gives you more money. And to balance that, it is the weak. When you make the decision to bring the Antiquarian, it's because I want to make money. I can pretty much, this is a pretty much 3.5 man party instead of a 4-man party. But at least I get money. And right now, 8,000 is a great amount, but you can never have enough money. Let's see here. Well, the only short one here is in the Cove, actually. So we're going to do the Cove. The Cove is a different area. We visited the Ruins, the Warrens. The Warrens is pigs. The Ruins is undead. The Weld is like mushroom monster thingies. Don't know why. And slimes. And the Cove are fish monsters. Alright, let's go with provisions. Always need lots of food. Food is nice, especially when you don't have that many healers. Shovels are very important with the Cove because a lot of interactables use them. Torches as usual. I think 2 skeleton keys shall be enough. And maybe 1 medicinal herb. Or 2. Anti-venom, not too useful in this area. Bandages are useful. I'll bring 1. But I have a lot of... This character can take away bleeds. This character buffs against bleed, increases bleed and buff resist. This character can heal himself. So it's really only 1 character that has a problem against bleeds. So I'm only bringing 1 bandage. And anti-venom is against blights. I don't think we're going to see that many blights. So let's get into this. I hope you like my explanations of the characters and their abilities and how I set up my team and like the synergies between them. That was a fast load.
These salt-soaked caverns are teeming with pelagic nightmares. They must be flushed out.
It's fantastic. Since this is a short one and 100% of room battles quest, there's not too many rooms. Ooh. Remember to always use the Antiquarian to look at curios, because then you get the antiques.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made
so
clear.
We got an undead, the grouper, and the stinger. This guy does the most damage in my experience, so going for him.
Continue the onslaught.
Good kill.
Destroy them all.
Stun resist. I'm just going to go for normal damage. Finish him.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Tiny heal on him. 1 health point.
Another
and a crit.
abomination cleansed from our lands.
Fantastic. A lot of people forget that when you have an Antiquarian, you have to select the Antiquarian to click on the... Oh, another combat counter. Okay, wow. In general, this area, as a rule, most of the things here have high bleed resist. Like you see 10% stun resist, 10% blight resist, which is very low, but 50% bleed resist, which is a lot. Who do I want to focus? I'm going to focus the mage shaman. Got a bleed on here. It's going to go for a heal.
Momentary abatement.
Iron Swan.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
For the 2 double stun. Ah, ruin. We got one. We got one. A good dodge. Just going to continuously heal so we don't have to use our food to heal you. You're weakened the most. Let's go for you. Bleed? Alright, it's only 1 bleed. You know what? Let's go for the execute. Get some... Remember, this ability always crits if the target's below 25% hit points.
As the fiend falls, a
Stress
faint
heal.
hope blossoms.
Kill. Another crit. Yeah, we got a crit on a bleed on this. Wow, that's pretty rare. Just go for more heals.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. The light, the promise of safety.
3 combat counters. This is... Alright, go for the back line. Iron Swan. And never mind. I'm going to go for a Protect Me here with this. Double stun. Nice. That's not good. Now the back line is protected by the front line. And can I stun the front line? Because stuns are what's... You can negate guard by stun, but I don't think we have that here. So I think I'm just going to try to finish him off. Two dodges. Very nice. This should kill. Iron Swan won't really do anything here. Yeah, I have an extra 1% crit chance if I use Iron Swan versus the normal ability, Wicked Hack. So go for it. Didn't make a difference, but you know. Go for the stun. Alright, now he's no longer guarded. We're hitting the one character that doesn't have that much healing. This has a pretty high chance of killing. Alright. You can see as I'm scrolling, if you look below this enemy, he has 58% protections. All physical damage reduced by 58%. It's a lot for the heal. No!
Teetering on the brink, facing the abyss.
I'm gonna get rid of him so we can start healing up. No! I can't stun the front line. I made a mistake. Get him out of death. A crit heal! I needed that. Now he has 4 hit points. And you hit him. Oh no. And now he's in Death's Door and he's bleeding.
Unwound. Well struck.
Okay. Yes, we got some additional
These
food.
nightmarish
So,
creatures can be felled.
I'm gonna use the
They
bandage
can
on
be
him. Let's get some food on you guys. Yeah, that zombie has the ability to just explode. Oh, that's fantastic. And then he has a debuff for 12 rounds, minus 20 speed and dodge. That is actually worth using a medicinal herb on. Get rid of that. That debuff is awful.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
No money. I wanted money. Any scouts? No scouts? Okay. Thanks, game. Just scooting. Ooh, hunger check. That's okay. Everyone should heal a little bit. Surprised? Stun. Let's go for a heal here. A crit heal! Thank you! Just healing up. Nice. Let's move forward. Probably gonna have to use a bandage on him if she gets bled. Nope. Okay. I can hit the back line? Oh no. I'm okay with stress right now. Let's just go for some chains. We got one stun, which is nice. Let's go for a guard. 'Cause he can heal up, funnel the damage to him. A dodge. Gonna hit him. No problem. Let's go for another heal. Full hit points. Yes, continue hitting him. The one guy that can heal fully. I'll go for the undead guy here. He has a lot of damage potential. Oh, he was under 25%. Should have done math. I dislike that they can hit my back line here. I'm gonna have to use a bandage for this. Dodged. Stop hitting her! Oh, that's the stun. It's okay if she gets stunned.
Grievous
crit.
injury. Palpable fear.
My own crit! Kriya! Heal! Heal! Stun him! Okay. That's okay. Kill him! More food, yes!
This expedition at least promises success.
Everyone back in position.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
I bleed. Thanks for telling me. Ooh. Now this is a great curio. Who has a worst? Minus 10% stun resist. Stun resist as well. 2 shockers, wow. Obsessed with Sainthood, that's fine. Thanatophobia, Ashen. Let's get rid of one of these. So when you interact with this, with some medicinal herbs. Thanatophobia, quirk removed. Not sure how that works. If you look at coral with some herbs and you just lose a bad quirk about yourself, but you know. Okay. We got the surprise. We can, with the Iron Swan, we can take this person out. Bleed, Iron Swan him. That's the stress out of here. I'm going to keep on going for the heals with this. I want to go for the protect me, actually. Double stun, please. 1 dodge. At least you're stunned. Oh, dodge. Nice dodge. Gargling grab. Ooh, that hurt. Next, I'm going to focus. I'm going to eat a dog treat here. Increases damage by 50%. Kill this zombie. Because I don't want another exploding zombie on me. That's okay. I should finish him. No more exploding zombies. Let's get a stun on you. Another dodge. Good dodges. Stop hitting him. Oh no.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
0 hit points. 1 hit point.
If only to bleed again.
Don't bleed him.
As life
Okay.
ebbs,
It's okay if he goes down. The
terrible
bleeding is what
vistas
scares
of
me.
emptiness reveal themselves.
We can heal him. Actually, I'm going to heal the Houndmaster here. A crit heal! I needed that. Fantastic. Yes, hit him and dodge. Another heal for Mr.
Wounds
Houndmaster.
of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Healing 1 hit point at a time. Another kill.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
More food. Interesting.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Oh, we have to go here now. No, I can't remember what this one does. Huh. Let's just interact with it. Ooh! Backtracker. No stress penalty when walking backwards. That's fantastic.
Another mariner, another misfortune.
Alright. I hope there's only this battle and maybe one more battle left. I don't know if the party can handle any more. Oh, they're just tentacles. Still gonna go eat a dog treat. Try to get rid of them as fast as possible. Go for the back line as usual. Because this one has an eye. It must be the worst one. Don't you dare stun him. Oh god. Just gonna keep on going with the heals. Yeah. You're probably understanding what it means like having a 3.5 man party, because this guy he's been healing for 1 to 2 hit points and dealing very minimal damage.
A time to perform beyond one's limits.
It's okay that you're in front. A guard. I don't have any abilities. Okay, I'll just move him back then. Kind of a waste of an ability, but it happens. Another pull. It's okay you hit him though. Bleed's not great. He has the stun resist. I'm gonna stun you! Switch back again. Pass. That's fantastic. Another damage. The Hellion should be able to finish this off now. Please!
Destroyed.
Now stun this guy. Tentacle. Oh, he has... Okay, good. Now heal yourself. Fantastic. Now heal a little bit more. Screw this guy. No one likes fish. Good dodges. I am liking you today, Tyler. That's his real name, by the way. Celopit is his real name's Tyler. Tyler is doing well. Just keep on healing yourself, Mozzie. Smack you in the face with my little dinky knife, my kukri, and I'm just gonna stun both of them. Ooh, I can execute him next turn. And he's just gonna barnacle barrier. That doesn't matter. You're gonna get executed. Crit heal, fantastic. Heal myself.
The war can be healed, but never hidden.
Bleed resist? Yes. Yes, yes. Execute. I can only hit positions 2 and 3, but he's guarded, so I still hit him.
Annihilated.
That was a pretty good recovery. And we completed the dungeon. Fantastic, fantastic. I'm gonna open this shell, this oyster with a shovel.
Wealth beyond
More gold,
measure,
so much money.
awarded to the brave
Now,
and the foolhardy
I
alike.
realize I'm pretty low in hit points here, and you guys are pretty stressful, but greed. Ooh, another bad. Another bad quirk can be taken out here. Obsessed with Sainthood, that's not bad at all, really. Shocker, minus 10% stun resistance. Let's go for Ashen. Yay. Fantastic. Barnacle crusted chest. There is no key for hole on it if you look at it. If you use a shovel, you can take away the barnacles.
Glittering
monies.
gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
Oh, I could go on, like explore, get some more curios, but I will. Just no more combat, please. Ooh. Oh, I don't have the... If I had some medicinal herbs, I can disinfect this and get some more food, but I'll just go for it. It's a trap. It's only 6 damage. And that's another trap. But you dodged it. And I know nothing's in this room, so. Sounds good.
At last, wholesome marine life can flourish. If indeed there is such a thing.
Off guard. That's awful. Minus 4 speed and minus 5 dodge in the first round. Slugger. That's amazing. Warren's Adventure. That's alright.
Awash in blood and delusion, he bears the burden of 1,000 lifetimes.
Let's see here. We have this new class. This is a DLC class, the Flagellist, or Flagellant. Very bleed heavy class, and he gets more powerful the lower health he has. You know what? That's not bad. I think... Let's see what other heroes we have first before we actually pick them up. But he's a very solid class. But I still need more healers. A Surgeon, yes. This is one of the modded classes. Is fantastic. The Yips, minus 5 accuracy. That's awful. Irrepressible. But I am taking the Surgeon. And look at that.
Experimental techniques and tonics can overcome things a sharpened sword cannot.
Fantastic. You know, even though this is a modded class, the Surgeon, it's fantastic that Wayne June still narrates him. And another fantastic backliner, the Vestal. This is part of the base game. She is one of the best heroes in the game. She's mandatory in the base game, as healers are far... There's really only 2 of them in the base game that are effective enough, and this is one of them, the Vestal. I believe I have a cool skin for her. Bearer, seek lest.
A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
Speaking of the best healers, And the other only healer in the base game, it's the Oculist, and it's really only one ability. It heals for a massive amount. There's a 0 to 13 heal, and it has a chance of bleeding your friend when you do it on them, and there's a chance of doing a 0 heal. So actually there is a chance that this does absolutely nothing and actually hurts your friend more. But when it gets that 13 juicy heal, you're a very happy boy. I'm going to have to take him. I need more backliners.
To fight the abyss, one must know it.
I think that's enough characters for today in terms of picking. Let's see, what kind of doctor do I want named? Jolland? Nah. You know? Let's go Spib guy. That's Camden. For my Seek Lest. Seek Lest. Oh, some of you will get that joke. And my Oculist. I will go for... You know, I'll go for another girl on my friends list. Cutie Crybaby. And I think that's a great addition to our team. Now, we have a little bit of stress on Mandraman. I should get rid of that. Nah, you're Mandraman. You need to go drinking. Ah, I can't drink. You need to go gambling. Tyler, what do you want to do? I think some calm meditation would be good for you, Tyler. Both in real life and in this game. Antiquarian, it doesn't matter how stressed you are. Mozzie can stress heal himself, but I'll go for pray to higher power with your dog. I can do this because I have so much money from the last Antiquarian run. It's quite nice. Alright, let's go for one more and we'll probably end this session. Wow, I have very few choices here. And they're both medium. Looks like we're having a medium one on us today. A steady bracer. A skull of knowledge, the cataphract. Ooh, shadow bracer. Oh, shadow bracer could be nice for some of the sniping classes in this game. So we'll go weld. The weld is fantastic for werewolves. Get in here, Sophie. And let's get in Camden, my surgeon. Oh god, he's gonna kill all of us. Spib guy, Sophie. Let's get Alabama in here. My friend Nick. He's a bad healer, though. He's kind of crippled as well. Yeah, that's great. I'm going to switch you to the front. And a backliner. Who can deal a good backline support? Dismas can. Dismas is good backline support. Yes, this will work just fine. Well, let's actually go into the abilities and make sure we have all the abilities we want. Normally, I actually play the Highwayman as frontman, as with the point-blank shot, combined with the Duelist's Advance. I usually combine that, but we don't have any backline damage dealers as of yet, so I'm actually going to go for Dismas as my backline damage dealer, even though I think he's a more effective frontline damage dealer. So I'm going to go for these abilities, and I'm going to go for the deep D stealth, just in case we go with that. run into those. I don't upgrade his weapons as well. For Nick, I'm just going to upgrade his abilities. As the abilities I'm going to be using with him are generally Undying Rage, which is the free action where he essentially gets a free attack. He gets 2 attacks per turn. The trade-off being that he takes 4 self-damage. He can only hits positions 1 and 2 and use in position 1 and 2. He's a frontliner. And he is just his normal attack. It actually reduces our torch level when he attacks, which is interesting. He does more damage the lower the torch and the lower health he has. And I'm going to go with Life Drain because a little bit of sustain goes a long way. He heals himself and heals more if he hits a human. And it bleeds if it hits an already bleeding target. And this one is just, he damages his own teammate so that he can heal himself, which is pretty dark wraithy. Nick, you're hurting your friends. No one likes that. All right. As for a werewolf, when you have a class that uses all of its abilities, essentially, it's kind of expensive, but goes a long way to upgrade them. Let's go here. Let's make sure we get the best abilities. We definitely need Disinfect. It's one of the best abilities. Cyanide Injection, but we need Surgery and Stitches for sure. So, what I like to run with the Surgeon is Field Surgery. Fantastic. You heal for 20% of the max HP of the target you have a quote-unquote surgery on. You give them Bleed and Blight, and there's actually a chance to give that character a disease. Pretty scary. A huge heal, but fairly scary. But right after you have a surgery, you have to have Stitches. So after that, you can use this ability that heals for more. It cures Bleed, and it heals the actual doctor himself. I don't know why, but it does. Maybe he feels better that he puts Stitches on you. And then he gives a buff, increased healing received. But it does debuff them for -3 speed. And then after you do everything, well, first of all, you disinfect before surgery, then you clean, you do the surgery, then you give Stitches, and then you disinfect again. And this heals the entire party. It gives a stress heal to him because he likes, if it's not clean, it's not nice. And it gives disease resistant and blight resist. So just in case, so it prevents the blight from the surgery. So a very good combination of abilities. Now for the rest, I could use Tranquilizer if I want to reduce the stress of friendly in the party, but it reduces their dodge, speed, and accuracy by a lot because you're literally drugging them up. Rage Roid increases their damage by a lot, but it decreases their protection and accuracy and dodge, and not really worth it. I'm just going to go for a normal damage ability, the Cyanide Injection. But if we're going into the Weld, actually, I'm going to go with Sever Artery. Sever Artery is the bleed attack, very similar to the Highwayman's Sever Artery. What's the name of the attack? Open Vein. Very similar to Open Vein. Sever Artery is just a normal damage dealing ability that bleeds the enemy, and it deals more damage if the enemy is human. So there you go, and it reduces their speed. So we have a bleed, we have the healing kit, and it'll be fantastic. We already know what the werewolf does. The werewolf just hits 2 front targets, and she has 2 different forms. She can roar, which breaks enemy guards. She can attack 2. This is her main damage dealer. Her main damage dealer actually hits 2 people, which is nice. She can taunt and mark herself. And activate Propose too. Smoke Bomb so that she can clear marks. She can use this ability called Feast, where if she heals for every corpse on the enemy side of the field, she actually heals, which is fantastic for self-sustain. She can headbutt people, and then she'll just stun the person she hits, but knock herself back. And she'll stress heal sometimes. And then she can use Regain Humanity to turn back into human form if she is in werewolf. And it'll cure blight, and if she'll get a little bit of a stress heal because, you know, being a werewolf is tough. Alright, that is our team. But looking at the timer, I think we should end off this episode right here and look forward to the next episode for when we travel with the team of the Surgeon, the Highwayman, the Werewolf, and the Dark Wraith. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked it, leave a like, and if you really liked it, you can definitely subscribe if you want to see more. Alright, cheers.